So, how are you doing this evening, Kaz?
Um, well, it's a strange one, mainly because I'm watching Snap, but I don't have OBS running, which is very weird.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's weird here. I'm watching Snap and there is OBS running.
It's weird. Oh man, just strange. It's interesting to see you go through some of the funny struggles, though. And honestly, this is part of the reason why I wanted you to host this one, because I know that we discussed, oh, should you host it? And I was just like, no, let's have you do it. And honestly, I'm glad we did because we got some good laughs out of it.
Fair enough. I mean, to be fair, that kind of sets the tone for the direction anyway. We're going even more into the fun and silly, hopefully. I think that's it. However, do you want to give a quick history? Because I know there are some people here who were, I don't know, here when it was Games in a Snap. There are a few from Cities in a Snap, and probably a few from the sort of the Lemon Pops era. So, by the way, hi Undead, welcome on in. So, Kaz, do you want to give a quick overview of sort of what led us to this point?
Certainly. So, a brief history is the event started kind of as like a one off thing hosted by Lemon Pops, and he is the essentially grandfather of this event. And he hosts an event just with a couple of streamers building cities against each other over the course of 2 hours. And it was just a quick little one off thing, but it was seen as relatively successful. So he did it again with four people. And then a third time also with four people, and then that happened over the course of a year or so. And then at the time I was new and really growing in the cities community whenever I was doing that full time on Twitch, and he approached me and he said, hey, so your name's been floated about and I've checked out your stream and I think you'd be right to take the reins of this and make it into a regular competition. You know the community better than I do, and you're also in it. So we discussed it, and that next month, by the end of January, we were fully running games in a snap, not games in a snap, cities in a snap, under my banner. And by the end of February, he had handed it over entirely, feeling that he could trust me. And then we built it as games in Snap. We did fun things like the Biffa Challenge. We got some great names, some great streamers in discussing it, and all the while the event just was rocking and rolling for about 10 or 11 straight months without really any issue. And then we, after a bit of a content drought in the cities area, unfortunate, we decided to grow a little bit into games in a snap because we had long floated ideas such as things like Prison Architect or Planet Zoo, things like that in a snap. And it was just decided, you know what, let's just rebrand. So we took a bit of a hiatus, rebranded to that, and then we started capitalizing on that a bit. But then I started transitioning out of my streamer full time gig. And for those that don't know, I kind of fell into streaming on accident in the fall of 2019 just because I didn't get a job immediately right after finishing my doctorate. And I then, due to the pandemic, I ended up doing it for the better part of 2 years with as my full time gig. And I've built a wonderful, I think, community. I think, taking on games in a snap, then cities, or cities in a snap, then games in a snap. It's been one of the great honors of my life, but it's time for me to, now that the pandemic is a little bit more under control, it's time for me to effectively pass the reins, and I couldn't effectively host the event anymore. And I had to make a decision of, do I continue to kind of shy off from the event as I did whenever I did my little temp job, or do I let what I planted grow a little bit? And if it sounds like I'm choking up a little bit, it's because it is, because this is a very hard thing for me to do, because this is something that I care a lot about. Uh, it's it's hard to do, but honestly, it's something that, for those that don't know, we took this channel, this Games in a Snap, as Cities in a Snap. we went from an average of 15 viewers to, over the course of 3 months, we had an average of well over 120 over the course of just 3 months. And then we maintained that for a while. And then obviously the content drought, things like that. And I have full confidence that it can reach that again by being Games in a Snap. Just, I personally do not have the ability to dedicate the time and effort that's necessary to do so, while also trying to be the best version of me, which is I'm a composer, I'm a musician, I'm an educator, I'm hopefully a professor at some point. So I made the decision. I had kind of dropped hints for a while, hoping someone would take a bite, and then finally I got a bite from Minxy and Gareth. And these two, we discussed things. There were a couple of other people that had dropped ideas that, hey, could I do it type thing. And just, I felt that Minxy and Gareth would be the right choice because A, they're a team. There's two of them, and there's a lot of work whenever it comes to this event. Trust me, there's a lot of work, as they've discovered. They
Yep.
already knew, but now they know even more. And it's just, you can't even put into words just the kind of mental energies it takes. And I feel that they also, being some of the people that kind of answered that kind of cry for help that I put out, it really showed to me that they had the right stuff and the right will to help the community to push this forward. And so, as mentioned in Discord about a month ago, as mentioned on Twitter earlier this week, and this is, I guess, kind of the transition point. We're continuing as Games in Snap. I'll be still involved to a minor extent. There's some connections with a couple of game publishers, game companies that I've developed through my personal channel and through this that will obviously be valuable for Games in Snap going forward. And I will continue to advise Gareth and Minxy and whoever else comes on to help them. And I'll always be around. And I've obviously, been streaming on my personal channel a little bit as well as I can. But I will no longer be full-time hosting and organizing Games in a Snap. It is now 100% being run by Gareth and Minxy with a little bit of poking from me now and then. That's about it.
Poking, advice, professional advice, general kickery, whatever one wishes to call it these days. So thank you very much. Maestro's got a good word for it, mentoring. Let's go with that. I feel like that's a good professional way of putting it. Kicking is the way I tend to use it, just because I'm me. So thank you very much, and we must, of course, give thanks to Kazjam, obviously, for sort of transforming us from Cities in a Snap, recognising what was happening there, and turning it into Games in a Snap, and encompassing even more sort of wonderful games. And, of course, to Lemon Pops for sort of starting the event off, for building it up as he did, and really for sort of enjoying it and trusting Kaz to pass the reins to Kaz. So, and obviously, I mean, we always thank everyone who's here, everyone who participates, everyone who watches, promotes, votes. I mean, how everyone votes. Some weeks I will never work that out.
And the moderating team.
And of course, the staff, the moderation team. You're probably best actually speaking straight into the side of it. No, the front side there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very directional mic. Sorry, we'll get there. This is only a one-night setup, obviously, with the two of us. Unless you all want more Q&As, and then we'll try and make something a bit better Q&A-wise. No promises on that, though. That particular mic doesn't seem to be on at all. That particular mic absolutely should be. I am hugely confused.
Chris, it's broken.
If you heard that, that was definitely from the mic of Minxy. That wasn't just a tap. That was a thwack. Did anyone hear that tap? It isn't right. No, that mic is right. I think what we have then is a situation where we're going to have to share one mic. Because this is a software issue, not a hardware issue. In that I think it's only picking up from one of the input. I don't know why it would only be picking up from one of the inputs. I will very quickly just see if there is something. Haha, hi there, Flibble Sticks. Yeah, this makes me very cross as well. Minxy talks at a decent volume you can hear. Okay, well let's try this then as an idea because I don't really want to do too much more finagling with this mic. So if I go and do that, oh, hang on, that was a bang.
That's fine.
You should now be able to hear if Minxy talks.
Hello?
Can you hear us both? No, Chris, it's working on the hardware. This is the thing. It's just I'm not sure why the Scarlet thing isn't. I'll work it out.
Hey, Mr. Fun Gaming?
But for now, we'll have to stick with this, otherwise it kind of won't work. Anyway, if we still have Kaz right, if we still have a Kaz on the line,
We do.
Yeah, I think we do. Has anyone got any questions sort of directed at Kazjem at the moment? Before we sort of let him go and talk about future things, because I don't want to take up too much of his time.
My time is yours right now.
Yeah, you might as well put that. I think that now qualifies as an prop. Go on, I'll ask the question from Eclipse Chris just because it's a wind-up one. Does Kazjem like pineapple on pizza and does he think it's allowed? I know the answer to this already, but go on.
I refuse to dignify such a question.
Oh, the corporate response, I like it.
I mean, you gotta sound all official, right?
No, not at all. No. Not in the slightest. Miss Fawn sends her thanks.
But anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, I just go there for everyone in chat because then, I'm going to just upset everyone. That's how that works, right?
Yeah. Upset everyone equally.
I didn't say it would upset everyone equally, just that it would upset everyone. We ought to do a talk show style format. No, because I like looking at chat. So, I suppose what we should probably do there is say thank you to Kazjem and let him go and sort of no longer need to be on the line so he can feed cats and pet them and generally.
Housewives.
Yeah, I don't think you feed and pet housewives. I don't. I mean, we're not getting into that discussion.
Yeah, she's at work for the next 6 hours anyways, so who knows?
Yeah.
I don't think I need to do anything right now.
Miss Fawn has a question for you, Kaz. Let's see what it is. Did you ever? Oh, yeah. Actually, this is a good point. The question Miss Form is asking is, did you ever release Brainless and Q from your basement? My question is...
I did move, so I more just transferred them. I gave Cuboid a lovely storage closet that's out on the balcony of the new apartment. And Brainless is in a back panel inside the garage. So, it's got potential for Brainless to potentially get out, but it looks like Cuboid's going to be locked in for a little while longer.
And, I mean, to sort of carry on with that theme, I shall ask, obviously, now that we've taken over Games in a Snap, and this is going to go semi-serious in a second, but the slightly silly one is, do we get them on a timeshare? Because I need to build accommodation.
Oh, yeah, I'll rent them to you at a very generous price. Very, very generous.
And yeah, sort of, I know we've discussed this, and this is sticking you on the spot quite a bit, Kaz. But sort of, I know people are going to ask about finance and money. Are we kind of, I mean, I know the Patreon, I believe, is suspended, and I don't think we're going to, we're going to look into that as to seeing whether that's whether that's a feasible thing or not from here, because I know everything there was done from sort of Kaz's local printers. But
right, and that's something that it would people did seem to like it whenever we had it. Unfortunately, just due to
Yeah,
that time crunch, and honestly the move is kind of what started imperiling that. But honestly, that's something that was really fun to do, just sitting there and showcasing various bits of, in that case it was still cities artwork, nearly exclusively. But that's something that I would love to see you guys bring back. And just on the
yeah,
topic of all of that, because I know that people are going to ask about this inevitably,
yeah,
the same policy is going to be in place where basically everything that goes through the channel is going to be put into the channel, because
yeah,
the priority of this channel and this whole event is the community. 100%. It has never been and never will be considered a bankroll situation for anyone, because, I mean, first of all, it's not. It's Twitch streaming. But second of all, just because that's something I know a lot of people have been curious about in the past. And I will go ahead and just be perfectly upfront with that right now, of everything from, paying, a couple people for a few bits and bobs of, some artwork, promotional artwork that we did once or twice, things to, getting website domains, hosting, doing things like, whenever we were doing game keys for a while, purchasing some of those, and lots of other bits and bobs pieces, things like buying, there was some new equipment that had to be purchased for games in this, or cities in a snap at the time, in order for the event to run. All the money goes back into the event, and that's something that actually was part of my requirements for Gareth and Minxy before I would move forward. I actually asked them for their kind of priority list for whenever they do this, and I was happy with what their priority list was as far as the money that does go in from things like subs, bits, all that stuff, because all that stuff, it helps keep the channel around, it helps prop it up, and it helps give it that extra little oomph that it needs to go forward, because otherwise it just becomes a money drain on Gareth and Minxy. So you don't want that. But no, it's we've got all that sorted out. So I just wanted to bring that up because I know that some people were probably going to bring that up.
yeah. And obviously, sort of this is very early stages in the transition. If how and if any of the financial details get transferred, we'll know when we know.
Yep.
At the moment, that's kind of that's the last priority, as weird as it sounds,
Yeah.
because I think we're all more interested in getting more events running, getting
Yep.
more chat with the community, really running this for you guys rather than the back end finance. I just didn't want that to be an elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's why transparency is good.
Very, very, very much so. Chris says he has a question for you as well, but then hasn't
What's up?
asked it.
Oh, bless
Apart
you. I
from a
see that.
bless you and an eclipse Chris in a hood. So
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're gonna have to make sure that you go into a sneezing fit approximately once a month, Gareth, if you're hosting. I think that's like comes with the territory. So get some pepper or something, something rub under your nose for the event.
I have the constant cough, and believe me, I don't need anything to induce a sneezing fit. I can
Ah, well,
absolutely
there you
assure
go.
you of that. So I think with that, what we probably ought to do is let Kaz go about his day, or let him sort of sit there and relax and watch the games in a snap stream. Thank you once again. Thank you for your continued help, support. It means the absolute world to us, as I'm sure you can all understand. So huge thank you. Let's get anyone who's a sub to Kaz. Let's get some meteors in chat. Subs to Games and Snap. Let's get some, I don't know, snap emotes, and just let's have some emote spam, please, for Kaz.
And before I leave, I will just say I have full confidence in Gareth and Minxie, and I will still be around. I'll still be doing my personal streams. Just you won't see as much of me around here, but I have every confidence that this community will continue to grow and be the incredible thing that I know it can be. Because if not, then I'll have Minxie smack Gareth.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah. if we can stick a shout out, I'm sure we all know who KazGem is, but if a mod who actually knows how to do shout outs can stick a shout out for Kaz, that would be wonderful, please, and thank you. Wow, that was my breath.
I mean, I have moderator status now. Do I have to do moderator things?
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, sure, why not?
Uh.
Nah, DC beat you to it.
Thanks, DC.
Rightio. Thank you very much, Kaz. I shall chat to you very soon. Probably, in fact, shall we do it? Shall we say that after this event, after this stream, give us all 5 minutes. Minxy and I will definitely try and make our way into the sort of voice general chat if people want to chat afterwards, just in general. And obviously, everyone's more than welcome. So, with that, see you in a bit, Kaz, and we'll get on with sort of the Q&A and answering the hard questions. And hopefully there are some good, hard questions to answer from stream as well as what we've got already. Go on, Kaz, I'll let you do it. One last sign out. Or not. Okay. I mean, that was apparently KazGem signing out. Okay, so, again, huge thanks to KazGem, to Lenham and Pops, to all of our participants, previous and current.
And future.
And future. Oh, definitely. Definitely. And everyone else. Right, we did post a Q&A in the Discord. We made a channel. Because apparently I knew how to make a channel. At least I got that bit right.
Proud of you, sweetie.
Thank you, Minxy. So, let's go and jump into that channel right now, if I can find it again. I mean, I made it, so I should be able to find it. It will be there.
It's in general.
It's in community rooms. It's in general. Okay, we were going to go through these and come up with some nice logical order to go through them on the stream. Do you think we did? No. So this is going to be an illogical, unordered mess. Get used to that, by the way, folks. So, question we have. Ashton Admiral, how do you become staff, or how does the games work? Becoming staff. What do you reckon? Well, I think we know the answer to that. Do you want to chip in bits of it?
Oh.
It's a long one. I'm warning you now. Go on, Minxy. You can do something this stream.
Becoming staff. It takes ages. And you need a work ethic.
Yeah. There's that. You could face... Do you know, you could probably face the camera, sit a little bit further back and still be heard. Kind of. I think.
You need a massive work ethic.
Yeah, it's hard.
And you need the skill set that we actually need.
Yeah. Oh. Tell you what, you're not being that inviting, are you? No. What we ask is folks need to be over 18 because...
Twitch rules?
Well, partly Twitch rules. No, it's because under 18 it's possible it's still in full-time education. I know in the UK it's now up to 18. And I don't want to put staff responsibilities on anyone that's not at the age of majority and that's still in full-time education. That's just not the done thing.
Not cricket, is it?
It ain't right. It ain't something I'm happy to do. So that's kind of one part of it. And also, while we're sort of going through this transition, I think we're probably going to put a moratorium on asking new people to join in until we've got sort of a level footing and know exactly what we're doing. Well, we're never going to know exactly what we're doing. Yeah, that's true. But we'll know enough at some point. Excuse me. Yeah, I will be able to mute this at some point when I cough. So, next questions. We've got a few. Maestro, working full-time, studying full-time, and being a father double-time doesn't paint you in a good light for this. It's just... I think right now, definitely the amount of work that's in it is incredible. I mean, even going from sort of staff and part-time co-host to sort of running, well, trying to organise this with Minxy. How Kaz did it as one person, I'll never know. This is two people's full-time jobs easily. Good evening, Mama Van. How you doing? Welcome on in.
Hi, Mama Van.
Pumpkins in full education from Kiggy. And Twix like the word Kiggy through then, so that's an improvement.
JFC!
Hi JFC, how you doing? Welcome on in. Thank you very much for joining us. By the way, if you do have questions anywhere around the vagaries that we're talking now, or even if they're not around the vagaries, please drop them in chat. We are watching. We're definitely watching chat.
It's there.
I've got it on two screens, so that I can look at you guys. Well, I can look at the camera as well as try and talk through this jankiest of jank setups.
It's fun.
It works just about. So some of the questions: How frequently will we be likely to see games and snap competitions, and are we still focusing on the current games only? Okay, let's do this as two questions, because it is. Mm-hmm. How frequently are we likely to see games and snap competitions? How many participants can you get?
For which game?
Yeah. Now, why didn't I mirror my camera so that when I'm looking at Minxy, that should have been done, shouldn't it?
Yes.
And your camera's the wrong way around as well, Minxy. So I guess I need to look this way, which looks right for you guys on stream, but it looks really silly for us.
It does look really silly.
It does. Okay. So, part of this, and the reason I asked Minxy, I'll tell you now, just so that you've got no sort of no preconceptions. Every week is not happening. That was a big ask, even when Kaz was full-time streaming. We're not up to that, and also, I do want some Saturday nights off. And yes, I'm pretty sure Minxie's got a question about that at some point as well. She'd always sit with her back to the camera, talking to the reflection of my neck in the window. This is a good point. I mean, that's no dafter than we've done before. So, I think what I'll say is competition format, giving no hint away there, competition format, I would like us to at least be doing one a month starting November. But signing up for those is going to be interesting.
Oh.
Have you just seen an interesting answer?
Yeah, an interesting question.
Go on.
Team games.
Team games.
Hey, Cyberscythe.
Hello, Cyberscythe. How you doing? Welcome on in. Team games. It's not out of the question. We'd never thought of that, but I suppose team games could be fun. I'm sure we could find a way. Let's see. Let's see what kind of team games we could do. I had a bit of an idea for a relay, because relays could be quite funny. But yeah, depends on the game if it's possible. And that kind of leads us very nicely into: are we still focusing on the current games only? No. Absolutely not. I don't think that's wise. I think the idea of us changing from Cities in Snap to Games in Snap was that we want more games in.
More games, more communities, more beautiful humans.
Very much so. Was there a thing about two people being in the same city in Skylines? That would be one heck of a mod. There is a multiplayer mod, isn't there?
I think so.
And it's as jank as the day is long, as I recall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Good catchphrase from me. Did I miss a catchphrase?
Don't know. Wasn't paying attention.
Oh, I see. I don't know. I was missing that. Cuboid's been asked to get on it. Yeah, tag teaming. Tag teams are an idea. Relay. There's a couple of options. What little things she said.
Oh.
More games, more events, more beautiful humans.
Yes.
Thank you for writing that one down. We're using that.
Thanks, Cockwaddle. We love you.
Yeah, that's excellent. And by the way, anytime either of us goof, do clip it. Because we do want clip reels, and we do want ones where we mess up. Because that would be better funny. Hi, Rayless. How you doing? Welcome on in. Yeah, because at some point I would like to stick a trailer together of all the funny moments, and me goofing up is got to be one of them. I'm sure. So let's go back to frequency of Games and Snap competitions and why I said competitions. One of those is you, Minxy, had a great... I don't know why, I'm actually looking at Minxy. You, Minxy, had a really great question for me.
Yes, Gareth.
Yeah, go on.
Is there any reason that we can only do Saturdays at the traditional time?
Absolutely no reason at all. This was not a planned question, honestly. No reason at all. Saturdays at... Well, okay, first thing... Saturdays will be 8 p.m. UK time instead of 2 p.m. US Chicago. Now, you might have noticed that tonight that was the same time, or today. A couple of weeks in the year, because of how daylight saving time works, that will be different. So times will be based on UK time. We could do UTC, but I'll forget the hour when it's in... when it's in daylight saving. So true. I'll probably do most things in UK-based time. Is there any reason why it just has to be the Saturday slot? No. I think we need to do as much as we can in that slot reasonably, just because, I mean, everyone here knows that slot well. So that would be, it would be silly to kind of give up on that. But I don't see why we can't do more panel discussions or whatever on different nights or some crazy events, and we'll move on to what I mean by crazy events at some point soon. And the moderators will all murder me because I haven't warned them about this bit. In fact, I don't think I've warned the mods about any of this stream.
You invited them. What more do they want?
I don't know, a voice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Kiki's already clocking on. So next question is a great one. What will Minxy and Gareth be bringing to Games in the Snap for the present and the future? I think Kaz covered that a bit in that, to not want to sound too flippant, we were there and were able to take this over. Mm-hmm. So it will sort of happen. Hopefully at some point pretty soon.
Chris.
Chris is coming up with the idea of thought about this crazy idea of getting a single player Skylines game and making it multiplayer. I think there's a mod for that. I think it's as janky as the day is long.
Yep.
So yeah. So what are we going to bring to Games in a Snap?
More community focus.
Definitely as much community focus as possible. Minxy's already community ambassador for Planko in a Snap. So you could sort of talk about, I'm looking at you and I'm messing up again. I'll look this way. So you could talk about things like how Planko in a Snap works. And actually, could you do a short bit now each on sort of being a community ambassador and what that means? Because that is the one position we will probably kind of recruit for soon. Oh, Chris was referring to the current format. Yeah, fancy that, hey? It was a good idea, wasn't it? So yeah, if Minxy Rose, do you want to do a short sort of mention of community ambassadorship, what that is, and how you envisage that changing, if you will, please?
Honestly, it's the most fun Twitch moderator job ever. You hang out with friends, you make new ones, you meet new ones, and occasionally you arrange a competition.
Now that sounds excellent to me, but I've seen you frustrated with it, so come on, I want the bad sides as well. I want the downside. We're going to be completely transparent.
Yeah, sometimes you kind of get really sleepy. You want to go to bed, but you can't because there's really cool streamers on and you want to stay up.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. You're still sugaring the pill here.
Oh, and sometimes people don't turn up when they say that they want to participate.
Yeah.
So they're stealing the place from somebody, and it's sad.
Well, stealing a place is a bit of a... Oh, no, because then I'm sugaring the pill, aren't I? I can't do that now. Yeah, I mean, I've been there and seen it as well with you when we've seen sort of, hang on, we'll put a pin in that one because actually I've got more on this soon. What will we be bringing to Games and Snaps? So obviously Minxy will carry on being Planet Coaster ambassador and probably a much more community focused person. You'll see Minxy in the community a lot. I have to work full time and I'm not a well person all the time anyway. Minxy's not particularly well, but is at least able to sort of be in chat a lot more than I am. So your community face will be there. And I think I'm more back-end hosting and more about the show itself. So I'll essentially get told, you've got participants for a Games and a Snap. Have you got any dates available that you can host? And I shall go, yes, certainly. I can host on these particular dates. And then Minxy will probably say, don't be silly, I wanted that date that you said no to. That will be a thing. So letting her do the hard work. Mama Van, you didn't need to put it so bluntly, but yes. No, I'll definitely be trying to do much the same. I'll be trying to take on things like helping, like improving the website, trying to get more sort of, probably mod wrangling, if you want to call it that. So the mods will probably chat more to me and I'll probably be looking more into, coming up with game ideas that we could play with, trying to come up with new ways of improving formats, improving the website, making it an even more cohesive brand than it is right now, and really kind of trying to focus on the work that Kazzy's been doing of late.
But better. Do it again, but better.
Well, who knows? I mean, I'm certainly not going to go around claiming that I'm going to do things better than anyone else. That's not what I'm going to claim. And, I think Kaz is probably going to do it better than me to some degree in that he's got way more experience. That's just how it is. I'm not going to oversell this. Ernie's Eclipse is saying that Ernie wouldn't have been a thing if it wasn't for Citizen Snap. Nor would Eveltal. Yes, nor would Eveltal. And I mean, we've got some great memes out of this so far.
Gareth?
Yes, Minxy.
We need Kazjam to host once more so you and Chris can have a grudge match.
Oh, have I really been? Am I going to get stitched up? And I thought I'd got out of this. I mean, there's that. I do have another idea. I have another similar idea, but I'm not gonna call the individual out publicly. I want to sort of have a chat with them at some point privately. Hi there, Joey Bear 23. How you doing? Welcome on in.
Hey, Joey Bear.
Hopefully I've pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I didn't, and please do let me know, because I do like to get these things right. I mean, you wouldn't know from how often I don't. Okay, so that does that sort of answer, or at least begin to answer, what we're hoping to bring to the event to some degree, and why we're kind of we think we're the right people to take this on. All good, thanks, Joey. Well, sort of working out whether they approve or disapprove. That's kind of Kigster. Higgy's just asked a cracking question.
That is beautiful.
That's a fantastic question. When can we expect the first event under our leadership? I'm not gonna use the nice word there. I think I don't want to announce. Actually, let's have that conversation before we go further on these questions. I think it's wise to say now that we're going to look for participants before we announce an event or before we announce a date. So if people are wanting a Cities in a Snap, get in touch with Minxy or I. If people are wanting a
Planet Coaster or Planet Zoo.
Yeah, again, try and get in touch with us. I mean, we did sort of say November, hopefully. I think November would be cool. I'm still aiming for November because I know I've just been told you did say November already on stream. Yeah, November, but is it going to be towards the start or towards the end? Depends what games people want and when. I'm not nailing a date down, but let's say one weekend in November. We're definitely doing something.
Yep.
What that's going to be, I don't know, and it could be, me pulling my hair out. I still do something I've got to do it now. Go on, I'll make a promise. I will break my first rule, and I will make a promise. November. What games do we play, Joey? So far, City Skylines and Planet Coaster have been done. That is nowhere near the breadth of it. Essentially, if it's a game where you can build something in about 2 hours and make it look good enough and come up with some janky lore, maybe, it's a game that, that we're very, very interested in. And, we need 4 people. Because running events with fewer than 4 people is just not as much fun. Surviving Mars is likely not the game then. Do you know what, Chris? If you can do Surviving Mars in a snap, I'll let you do it.
Yep.
I say building games. I've had 1 or 2 people ask me about a certain non-building game. I'm not going to make a promise on that. But there is an idea floating around. I don't know how I do know how you could judge it, but I don't know how we do it in a fun judging way.
I do. Memes.
Memes? Oh, that could be rough. SimCity 2013. No, we could judge that. And we'll get onto that as well. Oh, we're diving deep into topics here, aren't we? And because I've changed my window, I've lost questions. Right, format. Let's have a talk, because that will always come on. So, format number 1 is the standard. For those who know us, you'll know this as the standard games in a snap format. We're aiming to have 4 participants on the screen. We're going to give them 2 hours. We're going to bug them at the start, bug them at the middle, and then hopefully they'll have built something perfect, wonderful, and excellent. And I need to not say the catchphrase I nearly said because that's not mine. But hopefully they will have built something fantastic for us all to see, and then we can have a vote on it. And crown a winner. And we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes, Chris, yes!
Oh, Chris is mentioning the price is right. There's a joke there. I'm not going for that one. I am a mature adult. I mean, the T-shirt disagrees, but I am. So, the next format this is where the mods are going to smack me upside the face, I think. Proxy is asking about a new bingo each week. Do you know what? That is there is a bingo idea on the list. So there's a potential. I mean, the old bingo card now probably just needs scrap. But bingo might come back in a different form. That's a pet project of mine that needs playing with.
Yes.
But essentially, the bingo card would be generated based off game we're playing, who's hosting, and who's in. And the more that develops, the more things we can add to each category, the more fun that bingo card will get.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, bingo has a potential to come back in style. Right. You look happy there, Minxy.
Yes, King Fox, it will.
Do you know what? It probably won't because I won't bring it up.
But it does.
Doesn't matter. It's, whether pineapple belongs on pizza or not, isn't it? If we are getting to that point where that's going to become a channel meme, we're going to have to do something about that. What that thing is, well, that could get silly. So, next format. Because we've already talked about that one. We all know that one. I know there are a lot of people around who go, I'd love to take part, but A, I'm not good enough, or which, I'm sorry, we'll get to that one, or B, I'm not a competitive person. And we have an absolute stunning new format coming for that, which is hopefully, if we can get people to do it for a given game. Let's take Planet Coaster, because I know it's doable there. I think Planet Zoo is doable as well.
Yes, it is.
We're going to look to potentially shrink the build time, give an hour, maybe even 30 minutes. But people are going to be...
30 minutes?
Yeah, well, for what we're doing, we don't need that long.
That's mean.
We'll see. Hi, I'm Gareth. I believe we've met. I am mean.
Okay.
And we're going to have just one person building with myself or whoever hosting, chatting to them over Discord, asking questions. And they're going to build a section of a park or a section of a zoo or a section of a city. Now, cities, because of how the workshop works, that's going to become awkward. Because sharing cities around, I don't know if anyone's tried it, it becomes a bit,
No.
At least with theme parks and zoos, that's much easier. But then, we could have a format where on an event, someone comes and builds a section of park or puts a flat ride in and decorates it or really shows their skills off without being in that competitive, pressured environment.
More to show what you can do in a short amount of time.
Yeah. And I would hope that would appeal as well to detailers a little bit more because the scope shrinks. We're not asking for a whole park in that time. It's a community park. It is, the games in a Snap Park, the games in a Snap Zoo, the games in a Snap Transport Fever 2 World, the games in a Snap Kerbal Space Program landing on Minmus with something silly effort. That kind of thing. So I think that's the second format that we're hoping to do. So obviously, if anyone wants in on that kind of thing, let me know, please. Best thing to do will probably be DMs on Discord, or just drop it in the cities. And you would do it. And you would do it in the games in a Snap Discord. One so far. So yeah, drop it in the games in a Snap Discord if you can, please.
Or
If you want us in on that, or DM one of the two of us, because we chat.
do we?
Right? Well, yeah, I chat a lot. Kazjam has just come up with a suggestion of Prison Architect in 2 weeks. Week 1, design a prison. Week 2, escape from your opponent's prison.
I like that.
Oh, that could be fun. So, this is going to sound awkward. If you could stick that in the suggestions, please, that would be wonderful. And are you planning on taking part? I mean, you're now promoted from host. You can now be promoted to participant. Yeah, I need to play more Prison Architect, but I think that would be funny.
That would be hilarious.
The only slight issue is we'd need we'd need the same participants available for 2 events.
Yeah.
But we could try and wrangle people for that.
Gareth,
Yes,
do we really need the same participants?
I think so. I think it'd be really funny if it was if you were escaping from your opponent's prison. So it could almost be done as a 2-person event. I'm complete spitballing here. We're getting way off topic. Heck, would you have expected that from us?
Nah.
But you could do it as a 2 or a 4-person, but it's got to be one of your opponent's prisons you escape from. Because I think that's the fun of it. Yeah, there's definitely something there. Or, as Mama Van says, alternate with 4 players. Eclipse Chris, week 1, someone builds a city. Week 2, the city gets random disasters constantly somehow. We have ways of doing that. And the city with the most citizens left wins. I mean, that's a funny, silly format again. I think that would be funny. So yeah, that's a potential. We'll see. I mean, I will give you now one of the formats that I'm working on, and I'm putting some work into doing, which is a complete rip-off. Has anyone ever seen Cutthroat Kitchen? Now, I know that I didn't originate the stealing of this from Cutthroat Kitchen, Kaz did. I will give Kaz absolute props. We both pretty much said it, and we both came out with our Alton Brown impression. Very badly, of course, on my part, because I'm from the wrong country. But, it is one nonetheless. I'm trying to do 2 things at once here, aren't I? I'm trying to get back to where I was. And now I'm trying to find it. Yeah, got it. So the idea is that I would love an event where the participants could sabotage each other. Now, they'd obviously have to pay a price for sabotaging each other. So, and I'll work out an easier way of explaining this. Pure chat vote, number 1. Because this one has to be pure chat vote. I know where Minxy's going. We'll talk about that one in a minute, because that's a big change. This one's pure chat vote. And every player will have a multiplier. Let's say 25,000. So your score is your chat vote multiplied by that 25,000. Except you can drop that number we multiply your score by to sabotage your opponents. And yes, you will be bidding against each other. And we've got some sabotage ideas. We're going to have to, for a lot of them, rely on the participants to be honourable about this. But hey, everyone here is honourable, right? We just are. This is just...
We'll go with that.
We absolutely will. Right, Minxy. I've been talking for a long time. Your turn. Do you want to ask anything right now? And again, please keep questions coming in chat.
Ask it. No.
No.
I don't have any questions.
Oh, elephant in the room time then. This is one that's going to be a bit sensitive. Rubric. I've got to address it.
Oh, that question.
Yeah, that question. So, I'm going to sound everyone out now. I think for most events... Well, let's talk about why the rubric was a thing, how it's a thing, and why, things around that.
Yes, pumpkin, it would.
Yeah, Pumpkin's suggesting that Piggy's Disasters mod would be really cool with that. Yes, it would. And hopefully we can work with that and make that do even sillier things if that's in Kiggy's plan. Like, some really silly stuff could come out of that. Because let's face it, that format is a complete silly format.
But it was fun.
Oh, it's a great fun format. And I think, the Cutthroat Snap is a silly format.
Yes.
Very fun, but very silly. And so, right, the rubric discussion. Where that came from was originally Cities in a Snap, as it was at the time, so no, that's not one where I got it wrong, was entirely chat vote based, which is what we've heard requests for, is why is this a rubric, why is this not chat vote? On top of, obviously, what on earth is a rubric? Because that's a word I'd never heard of, and I don't think many people over here had.
No.
But either way, why have we got one? The big reason one came about was that at the time there were not really so much participants. Participants understood, but there were participants' chats or their communities where there would be a few people that would get
A little bit disgruntled.
Well, I don't think it was so much disgruntled. I think at that one it was they'd go in and they would vote for their particular person. So you'd have a situation where someone's sort of community would drop in with 10 minutes to go, say, I want to vote for person X, be told, no, we don't vote yet, we vote at the very end, disappear and then come back just to vote for that person without paying any attention to anyone else's build.
Yeah.
That was why the rubric came about, as I understand it. And obviously, you don't want this to be a popularity contest, or I don't think we do. But that happened. That was rather unfortunate. Chat was too powerful. So, and that's exactly what Eclipse Chrissy said. Chat was too powerful. Now, I know that a lot of people have expressed interest in going back to chat-only vote. I would love to do that. I think chat vote would be great. Malavan, we can't do that. We're not gonna ask people to stream without their cameras on, without their name tags on the main stream, and without sort of talking to them during the build phase.
Yeah.
We can't do that. That's not good. It's going to sort of get people, participants are going to ask, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
Why should I take part? And that's, yeah. So a blind build phase isn't doable. Or Ernie was too powerful. Well, Chris, you might have had a point. As Kiggy sort of said, the big problem with chat-only vote is that if one streamer's got like double the following of another participant, you could get an unfair advantage. So chat vote is a possibility.
Kiggy, that's true. But if that was the case, Jedi would have won a lot more.
Yeah. I mean, what I will say is, in support of going just chat vote, 9 out of 10 times, chat and the rubric agreed with each other.
Yeah.
And in 95% of times, roughly, the person who chat voted for won. So, how much corruption was there in chat? I don't think it was as much as, or certainly not in the later days, I don't think it was as much as you'd imagine.
No.
So, I don't think there would be a huge problem. We'd definitely be working on it. Next thing is the word rubric. No, that's gone. The big complicated version of it has gone. What replaces it at the moment?
Mark scheme.
Probably chat. No, I'm not even called. No, that's an exam thing.
So it's rubric.
Yeah, well, we don't want an exam thing, do we? So let's just say that we're going to ask people to award stars in probably up to 5 stars in beautification, functionality, and uniqueness.
Interestingness.
Oh no, it was interest, wasn't it? Rather than unique. Yeah. Is it beautiful? Is it functional? Is it interesting? And if we do, I mean, this is a whole discussion that we need to have on the Discord. Judges, this is the other thing. I'll tell you now, I'm not judging. As the host, if I can get out of judging, believe you me, I will. It's a hard job. I mean, I've only ever co-hosted so far, and even trying to fill in a spreadsheet while co-hosting, believe me, that's a nightmare. So we're going to have to find community judges if we go with the beautification, functionality and interest, the BFI system. What do people think to that? And King Prox has had a very good question there. What do people think about secret judges? I'm not going to answer that yet. I want to hear what everyone else thinks on that one before I put my 2 pence in. And what do people think about having community judges who are named? Also, what do people think about being that judge or being a participant? Because it's all well and good, and it's all well and good everyone saying, oh yeah, I want to watch this, I want to see this, I want to see these judges. But if we don't get judges, if we don't get participants, then it's kind of academic.
Yeah. No participants, no event.
Yeah. Literally that simple. And, I think folks have seen that we've had events cancelled due to
lack of
participation. People, unfortunately, and a lot of the time I really don't blame people. People having to drop out at the last minute. I know there was an event I was part of where we went from 6 of us entering to, I think it was down to 3 of us.
And 2 of you were deathly ill.
2 of us were basically sent straight to bed by castrate outfit.
That was you and Chris, both very dead.
Yes. Chris came into cover, so Chris remembers this one. Chris came into cover and was pretty deathly ill. I was not on form at all, and it was my first ever. Chris was ill at. Was that October 2020? I think that was UK Small Towns. Now there's an idea. Secret judges, a mix between secret judges and community judges. Yeah, I like that, Ross. Pumpkinhead, last winner, is one of the judges. Now, I suggested, as a crazy idea, all of the last participants are judges, no matter what the game.
Yeah.
They'll get invited to be judges. So you could be playing in Planko in a snap, but then invited to judge cities in a snap. That's probably a little too silly. But I suppose what I'm saying is that silliness is really where we're going.
Yeah.
We don't want this to be as sensible as it used to be. I mean, it was great at the time. It really was. I'm not going to knock it. I'm just saying that we are going to change things.
We feel that being too sensible maybe makes people feel too anxious about participating.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If we can get people to participate in something where everyone's going to look a little bit silly, but you know what? It's all in good fun. Yeah, Chris came in, won it, then went on to win the rest of them for the year. Somehow. Well, yeah.
Kiggy.
And then intersections in a snap happened. I'm not sugarcoating that one.
No, you did very well, dear.
Thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. Yes, I did. Just chat. Imagine that we're mirrored. It's easier that way. Kiggy, right. Excellent question. And, that was definitely one that we put... Oh, no, you didn't put that one in chat, did you? That had been asked. One important question that must be answered. How is the promotion of events going to work? Right.
Oh.
I have ideas.
Many. Is this where I mentioned Dolga's lovely idea?
I think that's one of the ideas that you've got, yeah.
Our dear friend Dolga the 1991 asked me if he can put an information panel on his channel promoting the event. He wants to make it such that it can be shared between anyone who wants it.
So, yeah, I mean, hi there, Dolga.
How you doing?
Welcome on in. Again, I think I've said welcome to you once. I don't know. Just blame me. So, yeah, I think what we'd love to do is come up with, and this is something we are going to ask for help on a little bit.
All for help.
We're going to want to come up with a kind of, I don't want to call it this, but it is what it is, a bit of a press pack. So just some things that we can hand to folk who are enthusiastic about the event and about the community, because I want this to grow bigger than the event.
Yeah, it needs to be.
It needs to, yeah. But we need to sort of put something together so that folk who are like, how can we advertise this, or how can we
get involved?
Get involved. How can we share this? We want to be able to give people a really, really easy sort of zip file download or whatever of a few images,
links,
a few links, maybe a short sort of
synopsis,
or an elevator pitch.
YouTube portfolio.
Yeah, we need one of them. We do. You say that flippantly, but yeah, we do need to get back onto that. That does need sorting, because this Q&A needs to go up there without a shadow of a doubt.
We also need to do all of the social media things.
Yes, we need to do social media. That's something that I think we've got quite a few people who are pretty good with, haven't we?
Yes.
We just need to make sure that they get what they need.
Yes.
It's all well and good. So that, guess where that falls? Yeah, it falls on us too. It just does. Automated social posts. Yeah, Kiki, that would be wonderful. What would they post? I think that's where we've got to work this out.
Yes.
Is what would we post and when?
Yeah, honey, everything be calling you. Get my jacket, okay?
Okay, I'll see you in a minute. I'll carry on chatting to the wonderful folk.
Yeah.
I'll do my best anyway. Yeah. So, sort of coming back to events and promotion, I think what we're going to want to do first off is ask around, and this is everyone here. If you can help, please. Yes, please do. If you know of someone that wants to take part in any game in a snap, whether we've already thought of it or not, point them towards Minxy or I, or point them towards the Discord if you can, and get them to let us know that they're interested. Once we've got people that we know we can get in touch with for participation, we can plan this event. I mean, I'm saying November. I'm going to stick with that. I think we can get enough people to run at least one in November. And I've got to set up all the OBS stuff for that. Yay! So, Eclipse Chris is hearing that Kiggy can do something. What? Automated social posts? Again, we've got to work out. I mean, this again is kind of on Minxy and I. We've got to work out what we want to post. So does that kind of help with the promotion idea? Gotta go. All right, Mohang. See you later. Thank you very much for dropping in, and thank you for the wishes. So yeah, I need to get onto Theme Elements and get rid of some of the things it's got up there. That's going to be fun. So I think the best thing to say is what we don't want to do is we don't want to say we're having one on the 13th of November or whenever, and then no one sign up to participate for that event.
Yeah, that's sad.
We want to make sure that we've got people for the event before we announce the date. So we need to be liaising with participants and saying, when are you up for an event? When are you able to do one? And then we'll announce to everyone, hey, we've got this event and we've got participants for it.
Yeah.
And then they will be able to self-promote and say, hey, I'm in this event. Come and join in. And hopefully that kind of thing will help us promote.
With the first Panic Coaster in a Snap, when no one knew about games in a Snap because it was the first one for them, they did all of the self-promotion.
Yeah, the Planet Coaster in a Snap promotion really was a huge community effort. A major, major, major thanks to the participants and the whole community around that.
Absolutely.
That has gone so incredibly well that I think we need to use that as a template when we go for more games.
Yes, I agree.
And also, if you're reasonably big in a community, or even if you're in a community at all, and you want a game in a Snap, chat to Minxy, chat to me, chat on the Discord in general, and let's see if we can say, well, hang on, we can help you sort of organise things, we can give you a bit of a hint on the pitfalls, and see if people can self-organise and then come to us, ideally.
A few months ago, I had a very nice message from a member of the larger community asking me for a Planet Zoo in a Snap.
Yeah. So again...
So now we're going to make that happen.
Yeah. So if people, want a Planet Zoo in the Snap, talk to Minxy. If you want a Cities in a Snap again, it's not like we haven't done that before.
We can do that.
We can do that. I might even be able to host it. I might. I don't know. Eclipse Chris is suggesting games in a Snap, and Maestro Chan is suggesting promotion in a Snap. Eclipse actually has... I don't know if this was the idea of Eclipse Chris's, but I did think on a multi-game format.
Ooh, yes.
Where, people... We set a very loose theme and said to people, you know what? Build something, come up with some lore to do with this, no restriction on the game.
Lore.
You pick your game.
Lore in a Snap.
Yeah, I think we were calling that lore in a Snap as an idea. But yeah, a multi-game format is not out of the question. And let's face it, I mean, when some people have participated, we've seen someone try and build Tropico in City Skylines. We've seen someone. Okay, this one was me. I kind of came up with playing Prison Architect in Cities Skylines. But all of the games have got that much breadth to them that you could do silly stuff like that. Usually working would always win. Do you know what, Eclipse Chris? You say usually working would always win, but if we were going for lore, I think there would be competition.
Oh, yeah.
I think there are a number of people that could go for that.
Minnie Heather for one.
Well, yeah, and if we're doing it on pure lore, I think a lot of people would be able to change the strategies, because of course there is a metagame.
Yes,
right.
A metagame.
Had we best carry on with these questions we've got in Discord, seeing we've got a few?
We do have a few. We
do. Will there be a prize in future for participants, potentially taking part in the competition more desirable to others? Put my teeth in. For example, a certain number of gift subs to the winner, or even merch. Gift subs, no. I'll go on to that later. Will there be a prize in future for participants? Right. I think we need to cover another topic now. Oh, we've got to go off on tangents. Mm-hmm. Giveaways.
No.
It's going to be incredibly rare.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll say straight up, I'm not a fan of chat giveaways.
Not spending time at the Zoom.
Now, yeah, exactly. The problem with that being, for me, chat giveaways is it takes the focus away from the participants who have willingly given up their time to participate. Takes the focus away from them. It gives the focus to, we can get something for free. And then we've got to distribute it and all the rest of it. It's a pain. Does that mean we'll never have chat giveaways? No, of course we won't. We will. We'll probably have the odd one or two. I'm pretty sure that there might be, but please don't bank on it. What we'd love to do instead is gift. When we get keys in, if people are happy for us to gift those to the participants, either for them to keep or for them to give away and use to build their streams up. I think that'd be a great use of any keys that we get.
Yeah.
So, Eclipse Chris is saying community-driven giveaways. What kind of community-driven giveaways are we talking? That seems better. Yeah. So I think one of the big things is I really want to focus the giveaways onto the participants. Pumpkinhead, if you remember right, CIS was best when there was giveaways. I remember more than one giveaway where there were 2 participants. I was one of them. And I really didn't want to win it because I'd already got that key. So
thankfully you didn't.
Thankfully I didn't, and to be honest, I'd have donated it somewhere. I would have made sure that it got somewhere, it didn't just sit in a vault. So I think, remember at the time when the giveaways were big, so was, if I remember, Sunset Harbour?
Yeah, it had just come out.
So, again, don't rule out giveaways. Don't rule out the idea that one of us might just occasionally say, you know what, let's stuff a giveaway in chat. But we're not going to announce it across the participants' channels.
No.
Because I'm not prepared to say to people, hey, you're watching one of our participants and someone whose stream we want to help grow. Come to the main channel instead, you can get free stuff. So that's not going to be happening. Unless, what would be ideal is if we could make the giveaway work in their channels.
Yes, that would be lovely.
That would be wonderful. But that really is the minority, and I think Kiggy's sort of said the same, and that he thinks it's better in giving the winning participants something for the hard work they put in.
Yeah, yes, Kiggy, yes.
I don't just want to give it to the winners.
No, everyone.
I think that everyone who takes part, if we have keys, if we have something to give away, I think that's the time when every participant should be given something.
Yes.
Because otherwise, I'm not going to take part because I'm not going to win, so I'm not going to get anything. Again, this isn't about winning. This is about community and about encouraging participation. And if let's talk kind of businessy for a minute. If we if we say to people, if you participate, there's a chance you'll get a key, and it won't be based on if you win or not, then there's more chance of people participating their first time to see if they get a key. I don't have all the stats, but I'm willing to bet that a lot of people who want to a lot of people who participate the first time will participate the second time as well. It's getting over that first hurdle. It was for me.
But then you might get someone like Mr. Cockwattle, who enjoyed the first time so much that he registered twice.
Yeah, you do get people doing that. It's quite fun. Right. Actually, let's get back to another question before we carry on tangents. Was how to become staff answered yet?
Yes.
Not really.
Oh,
I think the answer is really, at the moment, you don't. Because at the moment, we're not taking on staff really. Sorry to sound harsh on that. When applications open back up, we will make sure that everyone knows. It will be on the Discord, and I will try and post it across the Twitter as well. And it will be it will be very, very open. We'll go transparent. Be it a Google form, be it a whatever. We will make sure that we've got that ready. Kevin will have to work out a prize bracket from first to fourth, so when he means something other than just a title no one really knows about other than those who watch each event. Do we? I'll be perfectly honest and transparent. I kind of disagree. Because I think that if we start actually attaching anything of monetary value to winning, then we're going to get salt. There will be salt somewhere. It won't be from the participants. I can almost guarantee that.
No.
But it will become a problem. So I'll tell you now, I'll tell you publicly live here, I am very, very, very against the idea of having a monetary prize. Now, a monetary participation prize, I'm very much for. I love that idea. So again, probably chat about that more. Chris likes his bragging rights of the most winnable winner in Games in a Snap. I'm not exactly upset with the bragging rights of being the reigning Cities in a Snap champion. However, I shall be relinquishing that title as soon as another Cities in a Snap is run.
Gareth, just last night we had a request for another Cities in a Snap, I believe.
We had a request for another Cities in a Snap. That is excellent. Ooh. Right, folks. Hi, Night Wolfies. How you doing? Welcome on in.
Hi, Night Morphis.
Pumpkinhead, as long as the winner doesn't win because ducks. Okay, then they can win because Pokemon. That's fine.
Or prisons.
Cities in a Snap is Cities in a Snap. Now it's Games in a Snap. There's no current champion. In which case, I'm the final champion of Cities in a Snap. Sure. I'll take it that way. I'll play. You're full of cardboards. Fair enough. Right, let's actually jump back to the Q&A. And then we'll have more to chat about as well after that.
Good Lord.
More merch in the future?
Maybe.
Not yet. If anything, it's not going to change for a long time. It's not top of that priority list. So will there be more in the future? Possibly. What will it be? When will it be? Where will it be?
No one knows.
Okay. How can we spread the word of Games in a Snap and attract more amazing humans here? We've looked into bits of that. Part of that is very much on Minxy and I. We've got to start coming up with press packs. We've got to start coming up with events to promote. We've got to start coming up with other ways of doing that.
It's also on you guys.
What I will say, again, as Minxy's just said, it's on everyone for, please, you would not believe how much retweeting helps.
We need your help.
You really wouldn't believe how much mentioning Snap in a stream helps. We can't go into every stream and start promoting this event, this community. Let's move away from event, this community. We can't do that.
We know we're awesome.
Yeah.
We want everyone else to know how awesome we are.
But, if we start doing that, we're going to look desperate and like we're sellouts. I mean, that's not entirely untrue at times, but we really, really think that word of mouth is just the best thing we can ever get.
Yeah.
So I think, I think we'll work on things like, I'm hoping to get a new website sort of done. if you look, I mean, this overlay is a bit of a temporary one, but what are people's thoughts on sort of the under construction style of the overlay, the blueprint style?
Personally, I like it.
Yeah, but
because we are under construction.
Yeah, but also, as almost a permanent thing.
That works.
But I want chat opinions as well.
Okay.
We need chat opinions. What do people think about the idea of potentially having a refined website? Maybe trying to stick events on Facebook. I know Prox has put some great work into doing that on Discord.
Yes. Thank you, King Fox.
So, yeah, and a special shout out there as a thank you. And at the very top of Games in the Snaps Discord, you should see that we have one event and it's happening now. So if you see that, then what Proxy's done is working perfectly. If not, I'll tell you I can see it and it is wonderful.
It is perfect and beautiful.
You're the one that used that phrase, not me.
Damn it!
Got you. Okay.
But it is, though.
It is. So, what's going to make Games in a Snap tick? Future plans. Right, what's going to make it tick? The community, without shadow of a doubt. It's everyone here. It's everyone coming around to the Discord. It's everyone joining in. It's everyone participating. It's everyone judging, voting, coming up with the memes that we come up with.
Telling their friends about it.
Telling friends about how they either lost to Ernie's massive destruction or Yveltal came and swooped in for the win, or, it's the silliness. We've got to go a little bit silly. We just have.
Yeah.
So, would new formats be looked into?
Yes.
Yes. I think we've already mentioned the community build one. The standard builds are definitely staying. The cutthroat builds, I think, will be hilarious.
That would be.
The two-parters, I think, would be hilarious. Scenario format. Thank you, Eclipse Chris, for reminding us that, that the scenario format exists.
We like you.
By saying you lost whenever there were scenarios, but whatever. The scenario formats could come back. The themes, because again, remember, every Planko and a Snap has been themeless. And that's been because we've wanted to see what people can do.
In 2 hours?
In 2 hours on their own before we start.
2 hours?
Yeah, only 2 hours. All the formats are going to be 2 hours or less. That we're not going to have. I'll tell you now, unless something big changes, I'm not looking to bring back extended. I think the value's in the 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I think, especially, when you talk Planko, there are long format competitions already. And I don't think we can yet, sort of play in that field. I think we've got to stick with the 2 hour format for now.
Yeah.
Now, if demand rises and people want extended formats and they take part in extended formats, that might happen again.
Yeah. Basically, let us know.
Again, let us know. This Q&A stream, I didn't say that you'd be asking the Qs and we'd be Aing the answers. Today it works both ways round, two-way street this one is.
What do you guys want? We'll do that.
Well, as much as we can. There will be times where I'll just go, no, no, I am not going and buying 100 keys for a 100 key giveaway. Not going to happen. Just never. Sprinkle them. And as a quick reminisce, Chris remembers that we remember when, some of us remember when Chris had the 3 restarts in Flooding and a Snap. But again, a big thing as well. Actually, I don't think I've stressed this enough. Twitch clips. If you see something funny going on that you want to clip, please do. Drop them in the Discord. We will, at some point, once we have enough clips, come up with a trailer video of the funny, silly stuff. That will happen. because I want that on YouTube. I'm sure everyone else wants that on YouTube. And hey, what a way to promote the event. Here's the best of, here's the highlight, here's the silly stuff. Here's when the host didn't have a clue what he was doing. Oh wait, that's just general, isn't it? You know. But yeah, again, more about sort of giving those advice. Oh, there were plenty of highlights from the past, and I'm sure we'll get use of some of those. But I think we need to really focus the clips on sort of from here on in. Maybe some of the Planko stuff, maybe a bit of the city stuff, but I'd really... Because otherwise, we've got one host on for some of the clips and then a different host for...
Yeah, we'll get confusing.
That could get awkward. I mean, it could, or it could just be that we are a multi-host thing. Who knows? That might not be a bad idea. Way in the future. Because right now, figuring out how to host it myself is rough enough. I don't want to put that on anyone else.
Mike has put it on you.
No, not really. I kind of went, yoink, mine.
Yeah, we kind of
It's
did.
pretty much what I did, in fairness. Any new games foreseen, asks Prox. Yes. I guess what you meant by that question
was which new games?
was, are there any new games and are you willing to tell us any of them? And to that, yes, I actually am. I was going to do the joke of go, and no. But no, we will. I think I've already mentioned, Transport Fever 2 is a game I dearly love to run on this. I think there's huge value there. Prison Architect, I've heard lots of good calls for. I don't know the game that well. I've got it. That could be quite fun. I love the idea of the multi-part format. If we're still going on building games, I don't know, do you reckon Timberborn would work? We could give it a go and see.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we could. I'm sure we could do something with it. Or we could just do a separate category. You've got 2 hours. How many beavers can you end up with at the end of 2 hours?
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'm not against the idea of categories where chat gets no vote and it's all on the numbers. I just don't want that to be all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm going to flip that over to you guys. Are you guys happy if sometimes it's not a chat vote and it's, all on numbers? I don't want to do it all the time. I don't want to do it that often, but sometimes...
But those times, honey, we need the bingo cards to keep track of.
Oh, yeah. We'll definitely try something. You've got to give that a go. You do make me do more work. I was hoping to have them weeks kind of easy.
Good luck.
So things like the Biffa Challenge, coming up with alternatives to that in different games.
Honey, there was an idea you had the other day.
I've slept since then.
About people who same kind of coaster.
Yeah.
Various people who build very highly detailed themed parks. And they can do a quick tour.
Yeah.
And a very beginning stream. And tell people, this is your theme, build.
Oh yeah, that could be an interesting one. If we're having a guest judge that people know about, theme based on a park they've done. So I don't want to keep picking on one person, but Cotwaddle asks for it.
He goes does.
So if Cotwaddle were to be a judge, for instance, we might say, "Can you show off your Soviet park a little bit, please?" And then we'll say, "You know what? Let's have Soviet as the theme this week. See who can build the best Soviet park in 2 hours." So yeah, new games, new formats are definitely on the cards. Right, shall we go back to the doc and see how many of these things we've actually ticked off? And then, given that we've been going for a while, let's try and get through this reasonably quickly. Right, well, I've had no events lately. Big transition. Cassie's been working all the hours on the planet and lack of participants. And that's actually been the biggest reason.
Yeah.
Full transparency. Most events that have not happened because we've not had enough people taking part. So how can we help you guys take part? Because we've just got to be honest on that one. Okay, next question that I was half expecting to see, so we'll answer it anyway. What's going on with all these reboots? You know, we've rebooted to Games in a Snap and then we've taken over. The reboot to Games in a Snap was really about broadening horizons. It was on about, you know, cities was a large content, and then the content's a horrible word, but we'll go with it. It had a huge drought, you know, people were moving away from Skylines. I did. A lot of other people did. We just didn't see much at all in the game. It slowed up. Now, with the release of some fantastic mods, even if it's not getting as much support as we'd like from Paradox, and read into that what you will, like next to none, let's be honest. I think they've been nice about us. We should be nice.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're not getting, it's not as big a community as it was. And then sort of the move across, so that's how we ended up being Games in a Snap. Plus, we'd been thinking for a while, I mean, I was in on these discussions about changing about having a Planet Coaster one, or I think Transport Fever 2 was the common one that got mentioned.
KSP has been mentioned.
Kerbal's been mentioned. So the rebrand to Games in a Snap meant that it wasn't Cities in a Snap hosting Blanco, because that would have just felt weird. And then obviously we've sort of talked about, and Kazzy's talked about, why, you know, the transition from Kaz hosting and organising to Minxy and I hosting and organising. And I think the big thing there was really that we were in a position to do this, and as time's gone on, Kazzy's in less of a position to be able to. If that makes sense.
Yeah, if you want any event at all,
Yeah.
he can't do it.
Yeah, well, he can, but the times are changing.
Yeah, he's got other priorities.
Right, giveaways, we've talked about them. We've talked about my original stance was basically over my dead body. I think what we ought to mention is when there will be giveaways, they'll be when games companies. You know, when we've had, giveaways sponsored by, I know Paradox Interactive have done it. Those are the times we're most likely to have giveaways. Is when, when a game studio's got in touch and said, hey, we love what you're doing, can you give these away, please? Then there's a good chance we'll probably go, yeah, sure, thank you. I mean, we might say, you know what, would you mind if we gave them to participants? So again, that's really a big thing there. So how does someone become a staff member? I think we've now covered. What's going to change? We've mentioned that, the rubric has, done us proud, but we kind of want to reform that idea. So we might be looking at secret judges again. We might not be looking at secret judges again. We might be looking at just chat vote for a bit and see if that works out. That could even change by community, if the Blanco community all want chat vote, but the city's community want to bring judges in, I don't see why we can't do that.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to dictate rules. We're not going to dictate rules. We might have to clamp down sometimes and go, no, and we will. But, if a community says to us, we want this all chat vote, we'll say, you know what, let's give it a go. These are the pitfalls that we've seen. We'll give it a go.
The Planet Coaster community asked for clarification on the rules, and I have to thank Cockwaddle and Moomin Little Socks for their assistance in rewriting them.
Yes, very much so. And we will come up with, we will probably use very much the same rule set, but there will be, obviously we've got to go over the rule sets and work it out. Eclipse Chris Flipper Queen.
Like it.
Do you know what? There have been times where I'm pretty sure Cassie's had to do that. Planko hype from Dolga. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely Planko hype. Absolutely Planet Zoo hype. Absolutely Cities hype. Absolutely every hype.
All the hype.
Yeah. So what have we said is going to stay the same? The 2-hour format, absolutely. 2 hours is a big thing. The main competition format, the main version of that, definitely.
Yeah.
The fact that any money that comes in through you amazing people who sub, or
That's you guys.
Patreon, or well, I think the Patreon's suspended at the moment,
Yep.
or the merch, which embarrassingly I've got none of. I've got to actually buy some of this merch, haven't I?
Yes.
Yeah, I better do that. I better get an order in. But yeah, any of that we need to put back into the event. Will we end up doing other non-live events which could be put onto YouTube instead of Twitch? Asks Kiki. You'll notice that we've been reading out people's questions. There's a reason for this. This kind of thing needs to go on both and needs to be sustainable.
Yes.
I don't think we'll ever do anything that's instead of Twitch.
No.
But what I do think is that, in general, live is very attractive. And I think things like panel discussions, which I'd love to see if we can arrange some. Imagine a panel discussion. I'm not going to mention names, and nor is Minxy before she does. But imagine a panel discussion on memes and how they work in Snap. Imagine a panel discussion between a few people who have won multiple snaps. Imagine a panel discussion with a few people who've done different games. Imagine a panel discussion with people who've, done different who've done detailing more. I think there's a lot of value in trying to talk to folks and trying to almost, and I will not promise this format, I will not promise this, but a podcast or interview panel discussion style thing would be really, really cool. It is something that we've talked about on the back end before. And by the way, a lot of the things here are things that we've talked about on the back end, but have never really been made public. So we're taking a risk by going, we're just going to make everything public pretty much.
Yeah.
Because we love you guys and we want to make sure that works. But yeah, whoops, tabs out stream and loading ads. Oh, Chris, I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, I think we've tried to be as open and honest as we can, and I think a podcast style thing.
Welcome back, Chris.
Welcome back, Chris. A podcast style thing or a YouTube sort of panel discussion style thing, but all recorded live on Twitch, so that everyone can ask questions of the guest, ask questions of the host. And as long as we're careful to make sure that we read out every question,
yeah,
I see absolute value in recording those on Twitch and then, after a few days, getting those up on YouTube ready.
And then someone who's in chat can watch it back and say, I've asked a really smart question, I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, because of course that's what they're going to do.
Good.
But it'd be great for people who miss the live recordings, it'd be great to look back on, and great to see how folks change.
Yeah.
So I really think sort of an interview series would be wonderful. Hi there, Andrew, welcome on in.
Hi, Andrew. I
think unfortunately we're coming kind of to a closing. If you've got any questions, again, please jot them in the chat. If you think your question's a bit fighty or a bit of a what's it question, stick it in anyway.
Yeah.
As I hope you can tell, we're trying for full openness on this. Andrew asks when we're meeting up for drinks again. Ask me in Discord. Why is the sky blue? Eclipse Chris.
Nobody knows.
No, we do. We do actually know this. What we know is that it's not blue everywhere in the world either. In ancient Greece and in Wales, it's bronze. Or at least they haven't. Their languages, as I believe, had no word for blue. But yeah, no, it's to do with elements in the atmosphere and their refractive indices. It's always grey in the UK. Chris makes a good point. The sky is grey most of the time in the UK.
Unless it's blue.
Yeah, unless it's blue or white, or at the moment, kind of entirely devoid of any colour whatsoever. I mean, that's a possibility. Right. I think we probably should be wrapping up soonish, so kind of fancy keeping things sensible. I think from here, if anyone's got any more questions that they'd like to ask on this stream and about Games in a Snap and want answered and want sort of that put into YouTube, ask now. Otherwise, we're probably going to go our separate ways, hang out in the Discord, and then we'll sort of chat in the voice chat as we kind of do anyway. After the stream. Next week game's coming up on Game in a Snap. No idea. Good question.
It's a good question. And we still don't know.
What games are people going to participate in?
Yeah.
There's no point me announcing, let's say, Planko in a Snap on a certain date for the Planko community to say, yeah, we're not available that date. Makes more sense for us to gauge who can enter and then work out.
First of all, who wants to enter?
Yeah, who wants in? You know, if I suddenly announce a Planko in a Snap, and I get 6 Cities players saying we want in on that weekend, well, that's kind of stuffed us. So next 3 games, community will decide that. Participants will decide that.
Mm-hmm.
You'd love to participate, but like weekend's tough because kids. Well, Andrew, you're going to be very, very happy to hear then that weekends are not necessarily the only times we're going to do this. 8 o'clock UK time in the week is possible occasionally. I mean, I'd like to keep the weekend slot as much as possible, but yeah, sometimes there are people that just cannot participate on that normal Saturday slot. And I really want them to participate. And I want to make that possible.
Yeah.
So if that means me hosting at a bit of a silly hour sometimes, that would be cool. Eclipse Chris wants mini motorways in a Snap.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't own the game. I don't know the game. Well, yeah. I mean, don't forget, Andrew. We've come on Friday night. Okay, that's still kind of weekend.
Ish.
But yeah, there's nothing to say that we can't get the occasional midweek slot. And you can't have the occasional exhibition match with someone on a midweek. I think midweek we'll try and do more of the sort of exhibition matches and, you know, the sillier stuff. Or sort of the shorter, actually that's a point, shorter formats midweek.
Yeah.
There we are, we've just come up with we've come up,
guys, we love you.
We've come up with a policy on the fly, haven't we? Is that wise? That's not wise, is it? Friday afternoon through Sunday afternoon, a box off for you, Andrew. Yeah, and I can imagine that you're not the only one in that position. So, you know, some exhibition matches, especially if it's, you know, 2-person plus me in Discord and streaming it, I'm pretty sure that's feasible.
On a random Tuesday, for example.
More likely to be I prefer Thursdays.
No, you
for
do,
work
honey.
reasons.
Yeah,
but to
that's
be
true.
fair, I can shift my work days around if needs be a little bit. Not hugely,
No.
but, you know, I can pick my late night. Wednesday's a good day for Andrew. Well, I'll tell you what. You set up a grudge match, Andrew, with someone, or an exhibition match.
Anyone.
Same thing, different names. On a game. Give me at least a week or 2. Because I want to get, I mean, I've got literally the 2 scenes I've got set up in this are the start scene, which works, and this one, which is as jank as the day is long and doesn't work, really, because of weird reasons. Andrew, I'm not going to be taking part in grudge matches for a while. If I'm not up for challenges for grudge matches right now.
But honey,
Yes, Minxy.
the other thing with that is you need to find a host.
Well, if it was me in a grudge match, would we need another host?
No.
Not necessarily. Too scared. Do you know what? I'm not rising to that.
Chris, you would win.
Chris challenges Andrew to rock, paper, scissors.
But
Yeah.
Chris, you need Ernie to officiate.
Yeah, this is a point. Ernie will need to judge that. Right, with that, thank you all very much for dropping by. Hopefully this has been useful. Hopefully it's been interesting, even mildly entertaining. And we will see you very soon. We'll be in the Discord voice chat in about 5 minutes or so. Right, thank you very much. I actually fancy one of these. Thank you and good night.
Night.